they come in for their first time and they don't even know, there's nowhere to even sit down, or it seems so weird and so much like a cult. It's such an obstacle to an Italian person who dresses well, tries to present himself well all the time. Well, so if you can imagine, the average church in Italy is 10 to 20 people-ish, right? Very, very small. There's one church that we visited in a town not too far from here, and you show up and you walk in the back door, and literally I feel like I could reach out my hand and touch the pulpit. I mean, you walk in the back door, there's seats immediately on your left and your right. So then there's like 4 on each side, maybe 5, and then 4 rows. And there's a variety of people. It's hard to find. You come in as a family, you feel like I'm overwhelmed. The squish is tight. Where am I going to sit? You put your wife and one kid over here, and me and the other kid over here, and it's very tight, very small. And you think to yourself, man, that's the reality for most churches. You kind of can forget at times what the reality is for most of the churches scattered throughout the country of Italy today, the evangelical churches. Very small, very cult-like-ish. It very much reminds you of a cult or something like that. And you think of, if they're doing evangelism, and if there's like a couple families that are hearing the gospel, they're born again, they're saved, and they want to be part of what God is doing, they want to rightfully become members of the church, join in, they come in for their first time and they don't even know, there's nowhere to even sit down, or it seems so weird and so much like a cult. It's such an obstacle to an Italian person who dresses well, tries to present himself well all the time. Has proper food etiquette. The way he eats is very disciplined. Certain things you just don't do. Half the American diet would scandalize the average Italian, for example, just eating while driving a car. Like, what in the world is wrong with you? Sit down properly and have a meal. Take your time, right? And so, I mean, it's just that kind of mindset. And then when they think of church, they think of these mega structures as all they've ever known, these gigantic church buildings and stuff, though they're totally empty and void of the gospel today, and many of them have become museums. Still in their mind, church, family, God, whatever, okay, they expect something of substance, and they walk into a little storefront and it's totally jam-packed, and it's a weird group of people, and it almost scandalizes them. So thank you for watching this highlight of Missions Incorporated, the podcast of Practical Missions Cohort. If you've been encouraged or blessed, we encourage you to like it or share it or subscribe to our channel. This helps others to learn about the ministry and the different ways that they can get involved here in the country of Italy. And if you or your church would like to know more about how to personally get involved and impact Italy for the gospel, visit practicalmissions.org.